Hi, welcome to Tarot-blee Accurate. So it's announcement time. My Patreon viewers already knew that this was coming, but for the rest of you, it's finally here. So I have a big project that I'm working on, and I thought it'd be super fun to have your help. This is something really cool, a way to kind of be famous even, so I'll just explain it to you. All my tarot decks, I love them. I bought them for a reason. They resonate with me. They're super great. I love the imagery on them. But one thing that I've noticed as I use them is that there's not a ton of diversity in there. And a lot of the ideas are antiquated, right? The way that the pictures are represented. Now, this deck is super fun. I love this one. I get compliments on it all the time. It's animals, so that's a very unique idea, right? And then we've got other ones that are mandalas with words on them and, you know, helpful phrases. Same thing with this deck where it's all these different spirit animals and what they represent. And then I've even got this really awesome deck where, you know, it's quick little phrases, things that are kind of like modern buzzwords. Super fun. But when we're talking about decks that have pictures of people, because many tarot card readers are empaths and they relate very closely to people, right? I mean, others of us, we are more closely aligned with animals. Some people receive their messages through animal spirit guides and things like that. I can only speak from where I'm at, but I am a people person. So I'm always looking at the people in the deck when I'm giving readings. Now, one thing that I've noticed, like I said, there's not a tremendous amount of diversity. And what is diversity? You know, it's age, it's race, it's gender, you know, transgender. It's so many different things. So with these cards, for example, I think they're so fun because there's so many little details, the way that they're etched in there. So I want to be clear that I'm not criticizing anybody's deck. I'm just saying I've always wanted a deck that had a lot of diversity in it, with really exciting images that aren't so old or antiquated, right? Like we can make things be symbolic in the modern world. So, so as you can see, everybody in this deck is about the same age. And this is my very favorite card in the deck, the Queen of Swords. It's kind of graphic, but it's interesting, right? But a lot of these symbols, as you look through here, they don't mean anything to us these days. We're not familiar with those anymore. And so they're harder to learn. And then when we're looking at angel cards, for example, beautiful, stunning imagery, but almost all of the angels are blonde. Do you notice that? They're definitely all white people. Most of them are blonde. There may be a brunette in the deck. I just pulled out a few cards from each of the decks so we could make this video quickly. But same thing here with this deck. This is the most diverse angel card deck that I personally own. But as you can see, they are all white people. There's some brunettes. There's some people with long hair, with short hair. There's some bald people in here. It's kind of cool, but they're all white people. Now, let me say, there's one person, one angel here. It's a little bit chubby, all right? That's an example of diversity. There's one that looks like he might be half Hispanic. Cool. And then in that deck, there's a few old guys, all right? But where's the old women? Where are the children? In our traditional Rider-Waite deck, there's a little bit more diversity than you would expect, okay? Everybody in this deck is a white person. They are Caucasian, but, you know, we've got a brunette here. We've got a couple redheads. That guy's got a hat on. Let's see. But you can tell another brunette, a redhead, a blonde. But you see, they're all about the same age, and they're all white people. Brunette, blonde, redhead. Now, when I was saying this deck is a little bit more diverse, it's because it does feature children in some of the cards. For example, right here. 10 of Cups. You can see those cute little nuggets right there. Aren't they adorable? But that's my point. We need something that, or at least I need something, so maybe I'm being selfish, but I think a lot of readers would really enjoy this deck as well. So what I want to do is create a deck that is very modern, okay? I have it all planned out. I have quite a few of the cards already started, but in order, I live in Minnesota, and while we are very, we really embrace diversity here. I think we have more interracial marriages. I think I read this once. Maybe it's outdated now because this is a couple of years ago, but I read in an article like put out by the paper that we have more interracial marriages and childbirths here than any other state in the United States. So we're very accepting of that, but we are mostly white people here. We just are. Scandinavians, Germans. That's why we talk so funny sometimes and say things like hot dish. Weird, right? It's a casserole if you're wondering what it is. I lost my train of thought. Oh, so anyway, I want to create this deck, okay? But in order to have a deck that is truly diverse with elderly people, skinny people, fat people, black people, Hispanic people, Asian people, children, transgenders, gays, lesbians, like, I'm really going to need your help. I am not a photographer. I can't run all over the city knocking on doors. Hi, you look different than me. Can I take your picture? So what I'm going to be doing from here forward, if you're interested, because I will be submitting this for review to be published, is to submit to me every week when I put out what I'm looking for, any pictures that you have that you would like to have be considered for this deck. And if your picture is selected, then I will email you a form releasing me to be able to use that photo. And then at the end, so this would be like a year-long project, but then at the end, when my deck is complete, in appreciation for that, I will send you a deck along with a very special gift, and you'll be famous. How cool is that? You know, they'll be nationally distributed. So the other thing is that, what do cups mean? Wouldn't it be cool if we could associate it to something more emotional to us? What do pentacles mean? Pentacles aren't anything we use nowadays. What about a dollar bill or a credit card, right? Or a contract, depending on the card. What about swords, right? What if it was the 9 of brain? That would make more sense to me. So that's kind of where I'm headed with this project, and I'd love for you to be a part of it. And if you're interested, when the videos come out requesting that you send in different photos for different topics, I would love for you to send those to my email, and I'll give you all of that information at that time. But I'm very excited to start this project, to launch it with you all, and I can't wait for you to be a part of it. Keep in touch if you are excited about it too, and I will be putting out a list every week for the next few weeks of what I'm looking for. Okay, love and light. Thank you for your help in advance.